Disability Living Allowance, or DLA, is a benefit paid to eligible disabled people. It's a cash benefit, and it's not means tested, and it's not taxable. And the reason that it's neither means tested or taxed is because it's a recognition that the costs of disability are fixed, and that whereas you can economise and choose to shop differently or do without to make ends meet, when it comes to the costs of disability, there is no alternative. Disability Living Allowance is paid to people under 65 who need help with their personal care or supervision or help getting around. It's paid in two components, the care component and the mobility component. The care component is paid in 3 rates. It's lower, middle and higher rate, and it's for help or supervision with personal care needs. Now that means basic things like to qualify for lower rate care, you have to be unable to prepare a main meal for yourself. Not a ready meal that goes in the microwave, but food that goes on the grill or on the hob or in the oven. So you might qualify for that if, for example, you have very severe arthritis in your hands and your feet, so you can't stand to cook and you can't safely transfer a pan or chop anything up. Middle rate care is paid for people who need more substantial help, either during the day or during the night. It might be paid if you need supervision to make sure that you're not putting yourself or other people at danger. For example, if you have epilepsy and you don't know when your seizures might occur, you'd need somebody around to ensure your safety at all times. If you have perhaps very severe behavioural or learning problems, you might need somebody there with you during the daytime to ensure that you're kept safe. For the higher rate of the care component, you must need help both during the day and the night, and that help must be substantial. So to qualify, you would need help, for example, going to and from the toilet and help perhaps getting off the toilet. You might need somebody to help you turn over in bed at night, or if you have breathing difficulties, somebody there to keep an eye on you. It is only paid to those with much more severe disabilities. For example, if you have a hip replacement and you're fully recovered within 6 months, you wouldn't qualify for Disability Living Allowance. But you would if your hip replacement failed and it left you permanently disabled by it. The mobility component is paid at a lower and a higher rate. The lower rate is for people who need somebody with them to ensure their safety or to supervise them when they're outdoors. That might be because they have learning disabilities or challenging behaviour. It may be that they've had an acquired brain injury and they forget that they're way home all the time. The higher rate of the mobility component is much more difficult to get, and for that you must be either completely unable to walk or considered to be virtually unable to walk by the reason of your physical disabilities. The care component and the mobility component are paid either separately or together, depending on how the person qualifies. The mobility component, the higher rate component, gives people access to the Motability Scheme, which they can either contract hire or purchase a vehicle of their choice through the scheme. So the money goes straight back into the economy. For some disabled people that will mean purchasing a Motability vehicle, but for others it's used to purchase a power wheelchair or a scooter, because those tend to be very expensive, and although the NHS provides electric wheelchairs, it only provides them to people who need to use a wheelchair full-time indoors, and they will only be provided with that wheelchair after using a wheelchair indoors for a minimum of 6 months. Now, it's obvious to see that a lot of people will fall outside those criteria and won't be eligible for an NHS wheelchair, but they might be eligible for the higher rate of Disability Living Allowance and so able to use the Motability Scheme.